Good day, everybody. My name is Ms. Maboy. I welcome you to today's grade 12 lessons under the topic, the impact of recent legislation on businesses. And for today, we'll be focusing on the legislation BBBEE. Right. Did you know black in the context of BBBEE is a generic term for all Africans, Coloureds and Indians who are citizens of South Africa by birth or descent, or who became naturalized citizens of South Africa before April 1994. It's very important that you understand the term black in this particular context. Right, for this lesson, we have our objectives, as you know. Right, so as mentioned, we are looking at BBBEE. BBBEE is the Broad-Based Black Economic Empowerment Act. So based on the above legislation, at the end of the lesson, you should be able to outline or describe or explain that or discuss the purpose of the BBBEE Act. Right. You should be able to discuss or explain or evaluate the impact. Now, don't forget, with impact, it refers to the positives or advantages and or negatives or disadvantages of the act on the business. So that's what you should know. The impact, very important. Remember, we said you should know the purpose. Now it's the impact. At the end of the lesson, again, you should be able to outline or explain or discuss the actions that are regarded as discriminatory by the BBBEE Act. You should be able to outline or explain or discuss the penalties or the consequences. So if you don't want to say penalties, you can say the consequences for non-compliances. What does non-compliance mean? If you do not comply, basically. Right, at the end of this lesson, again, you should be able to suggest or recommend ways in which businesses can comply with the act. So if you do not want to be fined and all those things, if you do not want to suffer the consequences, what must you do? You must comply with the act. So you should be able to recommend ways in which businesses can comply, how to comply. Then also, by the end of this lesson, you should be able to distinguish or differentiate between what? Between BBBEE and BEE and BBBEE Act. You must know the differences between the two. Right, you must also be able to discuss or explain the implications of the revised 5 pillars of BBBEE on businesses. Take note, we are saying the revised 5 pillars, revised. So we've got 5 pillars, only 5 pillars of BBBEE on businesses. Very, very important. You should be able, lastly, you should be able to recommend or suggest in ways a business could apply the revised 5 pillars of BBBEE in the workplace. So you should know the application. So to apply, it means the application, what the business should do or how can the business do this. Right. As you all know, we always have a journey that we have to take. So with our journey, as mentioned, the topic is the impact of recent legislation on businesses, mainly focusing on BBBEE. So like as mentioned, our journey will start with the purpose and then we go to the impact. We do the actions regarded as discriminatory and then we move on to the penalties for non-compliances. Then we go to the ways to comply. After doing all these 5 things, and then we will come to the differences between BEE and BBBEE. Lastly, we'll then look at the pillars of the BBBEE. Right, moving right along. As you're seated here, you're expected to at least have a pre-knowledge or the knowledge of some of the legislations that are covered in the grade 12 syllabus. Right, so we've got the COIDA, we've got the BCA, but what must you know under COIDA? As you know, COIDA is a Compensation of Occupational Injuries and Diseases Act. So you need to know the purpose, the impact, ways to comply, and the penalties for non-compliances with the COIDA. You must also know the very same thing, but under BCEA, which is the Basic Conditions of Employment Act. But don't forget that with the Basic Conditions of Employment Act, it has got some special aspect, which are what? The provisions of the BCA. Very important that you know this. All right, let's just test your knowledge and see if you really understand or you remember those legislations just mentioned now. It says here, how can companies apply the BCEA, the application of the BCA? Don't forget, businesses can apply the BCA by ensuring that workers only work 9 hours per day in a 5-work week. Don't forget, we need 45 hours per week. So it's very important. How can companies apply the COIDA? It's also the application, right? Businesses can apply the COIDA, or the Compensation for Occupational Injuries and Diseases Act, by ensuring that machinery is in good working condition and by reporting all accidents causing injury of employees. Don't forget, this should only happen if it happens while on duty or in the workplace. All right, so we are about to start with our journey, or we are about to start with our topics. But before we start with this topic, you need to know the following new words, or these are the new words that we'll be coming across. Firstly, we've got affirmative action. What is affirmative action? Very important that you understand that affirmative action is a policy. It's not a legislation, but it is a policy and the process of providing preferences in employment opportunities for the previously disadvantaged people. So you might ask yourself, who are these previously disadvantaged people that we're talking about? We'll speak more about those previously disadvantaged people as we move on. Right. Secondly, we'll be looking at the BBBEE scorecard. What is a scorecard? This scorecard measures a business's compliance. To comply, remember, is to basically follow the rules or do as it's required of you, so meaning you're compliant. So it measures the business's compliance with the BBBEE. So BBBEE tells us the things that needs to be done, what is expected of the business. So should we follow that, we are being compliant. So the scorecard will be used to measure the compliances of the BBBEE, and afterwards a certificate will be issued to the business that stipulates their BBBEE rating. Will be rated according to the compliance. How compliant are we with regards to the BBBEE? All right, and then we've got discrimination, the intentional, unjust, or prejudicial or differential treatment of people or social groups based on the grounds of race or age or gender or sexual orientation or disability or religion. Don't forget, it is an intentional, unjust, very important, or differential treatment. All right, we're going to go on to our quick ad break, and then when we come back, we're going to start with our very interesting journey on the topic BBBEE. I'll see you just now.